bring back dignity. Time and time again I relapse, but love has never left me. Perhaps I should have found a way to pay it back. But if I get what you take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day, you dream. You forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day, you dream like that. Who needs a heart that tears apart? Ruminating cycles me back at the start. Time and time again I relapse, but your love is always waiting. Perhaps I can't save myself, so I fade to black. But if I get what you take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day, you dream like you forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day, you dream give and take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day, you forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It's the end of the weekend, but I still wanna turn up. Yeah, I still wanna turn up. All I want is to go again, but you ain't picking your phone up. Why you messing my head up? Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is just saying yeah, 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 yeah. Better nights, better days, when you're here with me, babe. Cause you're all that I crave, so I wonder, where are you? Where are you? Don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, where are you? Don't be so hard to reach, just pick up your phone. Tell me where you'll be, cause I gotta know. Let me know when you're ready, cause I made reservations. Too many invitations, and the last night was heavy. I need communication. Tell me where's your location. Used to talk 24/7, every other second, just to make sure we were up to date. Now it's closer to 11, and I ain't hearing nothing. I just need to know that you're okay. Hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, where are you? Hey, don't be so hard to reach, just Just pick up your phone, tell me where you be, 'cause I gotta know. Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is you saying yeah, yeah. Better nights, better days, when you're here with me, babe, 'cause you're all I crave. So I wonder, where are you, baby? Don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, so hard to reach. Just pick up your phone, tell me where you'll be, 'cause I gotta know.
I can hear them thinking out loud, loud. Simple people acting so proud, proud. I hear them talking, talking, talking about us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear them thinking out loud. One might think it's obvious. Please don't spill your mind when you don't have a clue. Hey, they don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us. No, they wouldn't know about us. They keep wishing that I'd fall in line, line. But you and me, babe, we're one of a kind, kind. One might think it's obvious. Please don't spill your mind when you don't have a clue. Hey, they don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us. No, they wouldn't know about us, 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 us. They don't know about us, us, us. They don't get it, babe, living in a cruel world. It's a rare thing to do just what we do, love. Hold your head high and do it by your own terms. They don't get it, babe, no, they don't get it, babe. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us. No, they wouldn't know about us. They don't know about
I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't faze me. I'm going, I keep it factual. I'm on sabbatical. I'm out in Central America. I need a break from hysteria. Park like the one with the carousel. I get it lit in your area. I'm Locked to the vision, it couldn't be clear. You couldn't pay me to care enough. I dare you to hate me supreme with the sound through the stereo. So turn it up loud when you hearing us. We live and it's good in your area. My mama proud, she tearing up and it's going down. Got your girl aroused by these massive stacks like 100 pounds. Running big laps till the sun is down like 100 miles. Tinted frames on me leaning down. I'm winning now. Been a while, you ain't like me then, but how you like me now? Real one, if I hold you down, I'ma keep it there till we in the ground. Jet black when I paint the town, only blue sheets when they pay me now. Treat a setback like a step back. Wave, I got the game in a vice grip. Way up when the vire's clear. All the homies on the flight list. Verbally gifted, take the plot and I twist it. Got it big lit. Sex with the incense, got my mind rents, won't stop, I'm relentless. I'ma need safety, till the op can't snake me. Ray gun on safety, my girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world, she want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't faze me. I'm going, I want a grill for the mouthpiece, so bright that it light on my face. Your shawty just call me a fave, cause she like my character traits. I never stop for a break, I put a lock on the game. I put a stock in my name, but I give a f about the fame. I took a bite of that life and it tastes so exquisite. It feel like you do when you look in my pendant. Hopeless romantic, my girl, chin up for the kid. I'm not on no simps. Won't stop to the youngest he dreams. Wanna take him from rags to riches. I heard that you claim that you know me, but you ain't the homie. The f is your friendship. I need the loyalty, bag up the royalty. I give a f if you notice me. Ain't nobody holding me. Big wave at your shoreline, so they know it's me. Babe boy from the cold seas. Nitro with a new pen, go at ISO. Tell him don't reach. Ice cold with it, no fleece. I'ma need safety, till the op can't snake me. Ray gun off safety, my girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world, she want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't.
You broke my heart 1,000,000 times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, it's such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you.
Good morning. Good morning.
You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it was
We doing it again, you guys.
time.
We back again, you guys.
Things out,
Let's read it.
things out. To work things out. To work
We back again.
things out. To work
Is my mic too hot? I think my mic is too hot. Let me check my levels. I always got to check this mic. The levels changed. Oh my God.
to work things out. Can we be honest?
It was way too hot. It adjusts itself automatically. That should be a lot better. That should be a lot better. Good morning, Miss Drea. Christian Alexander is here. Attention! Present and accounted for, sir. That's what's up. You know what, Christian? I don't have an intro. I still do not have an intro, bro. I still do not have an intro for the Rich People Read series. Send it to me. Send it to me. Email it to me. Shannon at shannonrawls.com. Shoot it to me, bro. That's my direct email. I love to read it. I do not have, you know what, it's on my to-do list, but I keep pushing it down because there's other more pressing issues than coming up with an intro for our book club. I do need a dope one though. You got bars for me? Send them to me. Send me those bars, Christian. I need a ghostwriter. Hey, Jill. Hey, Jill. Salute, everybody. Throw up your salutes. Soldiers, throw up your salutes. Jill is here. Getting ready to read. Princess is here. Hey, love. That's right. The man with the plan with no ginger tea. Good morning. Good morning. At least it's morning here in Los Angeles. If you're on the East Coast, good afternoon. Good morning and good afternoon. That's right. See, to all my soldiers, salute. I know some people are watching like, man, where I don't see the salute emoji. Where's that little image that they're getting of the man or the woman or the soldier saluting? That's because it's not available to the general public. How do we do this, Mike? How about right here? It's not available to the general public. It's only available to the soldiers of the SR Army. Did you take your vitamins this morning, everybody? Did you take your vitamins this morning, everybody? It's important that you take your multivitamins. If nothing else, you take a multivitamin, period. The American diet requires it. The American diet requires a multivitamin for every human. Every adult in America needs to be taking a multivitamin. I'm sorry, it's just our diet, the food that we have here, it requires it. There's no way around it. So I hope everybody took their multivitamin this morning. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kim. Good morning, Kim. Kim is in the house with her cute self. Look at that profile picture of hers. That's right, Princess. She took her multivitamins today. And sometimes you just need a nudge, right? Just a reminder. Some people are like, oh shit, I didn't take it. And they got it right there in the kitchen. They can get up and go grab it right now and be like, you know what? I just needed a bump, just a reminder. I'm here to remind you. And you know what? Take it any time of the day if you didn't take it. The American diet requires it. I hope you're hydrating yourselves. We're going to read some this morning. We're going to read chapter 5 of Think and Grow Rich. What are we doing? Some people are asking. Thank you for asking. This is the Rich People Read podcast over at Shannon Rawls channel on YouTube, where we read a book a month, but we do it live, chapter by chapter. This book here is Think and Grow Rich. This is our very first book, and we're all reading this together. If you haven't caught up, you can. This book was written in 1925. It was released in 1938. By Napoleon Hill. This book is not just a self-help book. This is an instruction manual. It's not just a self-help book, it's an instruction manual. Oh, that reminds me to add ink. You know, I couldn't print out my prosperity doctrine yesterday because I don't have ink in the printer here at the house. All my extra ink is at my office downtown. And I meant to have my employee swinging by the house, because I hadn't been down there. So let me go to where is my, I have a to-do list. Let me run on my to-do list real quick. Or to-get list. And then it is under notes. I don't know where that's at. I wonder where. Where's my to-do list at? Anyways, I'm gonna add it right here at the top. Grab ink cartridges for the printer at the house. I think I moved those to-dos somewhere else. Let me open this up, minimize it so I can take a look at that later. Yes. So we're reading Think and Grow Rich. That's the book we're currently on. Today, we're going to knock out chapter 5. It's a short chapter. It's not that long. Today is the chapter 5 on specialized knowledge, personal experiences, or observations. The fourth step towards riches. And the people that you see in the live chat, if you guys are watching live, are the people that's reading on this book along with us. There are people that's reading this book along with us. This book, my channel is all about prosperity, elevating yourselves, doing well in entrepreneurship, and doing well in personal relationships. My channel is all about the two ships, entrepreneurship in relationships. I speak on dating issues, and I speak on making money issues. And so right now we're reading Think and Grow Rich. And I want everybody that's reading this book to get what they want. Most people around here want to get money, but it may not be money for you. It may be something else. It may be a wife. Maybe it's a Lamborghini. Maybe it is a Tesla. Maybe it's a house to get out of your apartment. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a Rolex watch. I don't care what it is. But we're going to get what we want. We're going to think and grow rich. My prosperity doctrine is written. As I said, this book is not just a self-help book. It's an instruction manual. It tells people what they need to do. It tells you what you need to do. And it tells you also that you can't do some of it. I had told people this before, but remember in that last chapter, it said that you can't do some of it. You have to do all of it or you will fail. You have to do everything it tells you to do or you'll fail. You can't do 95% of what the book is asking you to do. You have to do 100% of it or you'll fail. But if you do 100% of what this book is telling us to do, you will get what you ask for. If you ask for $2 million in the next 2 years, you will have $2 million in the next 2 years if you do everything that this book tells you to do. The problem is people are more lazy than they are motivated. People are more lazy than they are motivated. They won't do it. It's not easy. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not hard. And we're not even done. It's 15 chapters in this book. We're only on chapter 5. Already people are not doing what some of the chapters is telling them to do. I guarantee most of you, if not all of you, didn't even write out your prosperity doctor. Tell the truth. You didn't. You don't have to write it in the chat. Tell it to yourself, because that's who you need to be accountable to. Not to me. You need to be accountable to yourself. Soldiers, we're accountable to each other, though. All the members of this group, all the members of my channel, the paid members, we're accountable to each other. So you are accountable to me. And I'm accountable to you. I guarantee you, many of you guys didn't even write out your prosperity doctrine. You did not wake up this morning and say your prosperity doctrine like as instructed. This book isn't saying start when you finish reading the book. It doesn't say begin at the end of the last chapter, then start. It says start now. As we go, start now. So if that's you, you know what I'm talking to. You know who I'm talking to. If that's you, start now. We're going to knock out chapter 5 today because we're reading together. That's right. I see the salutes coming in. Thomas is in there. Miss Dre is in there. Red Lipstick Vibes is in the contest. They typed the word salute. Everybody that types the word salute gets a gift card. They get a gift card. All you got to do, you got 24 hours to email us and then bam. You get the gift card in your email box. So make sure you type salute. RCC is here. My guy, RCC. I just saw you over at Anton's, RCC. Shout out to Anton. I put that in my save to watch later. I knew I was going live because I want to hear about that doctor that makes this money. I got the bulk of it when I was watching Anton. I saw that you went over there. You was talking over at Anton's too. Yeah, man, a doctor making money on YouTube, but not actually at YouTube, using YouTube as a channel to funnel hit the rest of his business. Yeah, man. Shout out to RCC. He's in the running. Salute to you, sir. RCC is a soldier. You see that rank next to his name? You see that rank next to his name? Salute. Christian. Christian is in the running. Christian's name just popped up. Yeah, man. We're getting ready to read this. We're getting ready to read this. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Thank you so much. Reading. Do you know anybody that's wealthy that doesn't read? I don't. I don't know. Of the wealthy folks that I know here in Los Angeles, none of them don't read. None of them don't read. And the reality is, I don't even like to read. I don't even like to read. I read, but I like the knowledge that I get from reading. So I do it. It's almost like working out. I tell people all the time, reading for me is kind of like going to the gym. I don't enjoy the process of going to the gym. I don't like the sweat and my muscles being tired and all that, but I love the results. I love how I look as a result of working out. The results outweigh the cost. And so gaining knowledge to me outweighs the cost of the efforts of reading. So here we are. And I want to try to get you guys to jump in with me. So we're going to read chapter 5. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Thank you everybody for watching. A lot of people are going to watch this later. They're going to put this in. They're going to put their earbuds in their ears. They're going to hit the play button and they're going to just listen to this later. As long as you can listen to me, you're considered reading this book. You don't have to actually put your eyes to the words. You can just listen to the content. You can just listen to my words. I'm putting my eyes to the words in your behalf. So as long as you listen to this, you're good to go. Just play it. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. How do I move over a little bit? Let me move over a little bit.
To the real world.
Shout out to Pigeon Gang Music Group. Shout out to Pigeon Gang Music Group for being a subscriber. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world. Appreciate you, bro. And Drea's listening at work. Realistic Vibe says, if you want to hide knowledge and wealth, put it in a book, because a lot of blacks do not read. That's real talk. That is real. A lot of black people do not read. Here we go. Chapter 5. Specialized knowledge, personal experiences, or observations. The fourth step towards riches. There are two kinds of knowledge. One is general. The other is specialized. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of but little use in the accumulation of money. The faculties of the great universities possess, in aggregate, practically every form of general knowledge known to civilization. Most of the professors have but little or no money. Think about it. Your college professors are by and large broke. They specialize on teaching knowledge, but they do not specialize on the organization or the use of that knowledge. Knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to the definite end of the accumulation of money. Lack of understanding of this fact has been the source of confusion to millions of people who falsely believe that knowledge is power. Who falsely believe that knowledge is power. It is nothing of the sort. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite end. This missing link in all systems of education known to civilization today may be found in the failure of educational instructions to teach their students how to organize and use knowledge after they acquire it. Many people make the mistake of assuming that because Henry Ford had but little schooling, he is not a man of quote unquote education. Those who make this mistake do not know Henry Ford, nor do they understand the real meaning of the word educate. That word is derived from the Latin word educo, meaning to adduce, to draw out, to develop from within. An educated man is not necessarily one who has abundance of general or specialized knowledge. An educated man is one who has so developed the faculties of his mind that he may acquire anything he wants or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. Henry Ford comes well within the meaning of this definition. During the World War, a Chicago newspaper published certain editorials in which, among other statements, Henry Ford was called an ignorant pacifist. Mr. Ford objected to the statements and brought suit against the paper for libeling him. When the suit was tried in the courts, the attorneys for the paper pleaded justification and placed Mr. Ford himself on the witness stand for the purpose of proving to the jury that he was ignorant. The attorneys asked Mr. Ford a great variety of questions, all of them intended to prove by his own evidence that while he might possess considerable specialized knowledge pertaining to the manufacturing of automobiles, he was, in the main, an ignorant man. Mr. Ford was plied with questions such as the following. Who was Benedict Arnold? And how many soldiers did the British send over to America to put down the rebellion of 1776? In answer to the last question, Mr. Ford replied, I do not know the exact number of soldiers the British sent over, but I have heard that it was a considerably larger number than ever went back. Finally, Mr. Ford became tired of this line of questioning, and in reply to a particular offensive question, he leaned over, he pointed his finger at the lawyer who asked him the question and said, if I should really want to answer the foolish question you have just asked, or any of the other questions you have been asking me, let me remind you that I have a row of electric push buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon to my aid men who can answer any question I desire to ask concerning the business to which I am devoted most of my efforts. Now, will you kindly tell me why I should clutter my mind with general knowledge for the purpose of being able to answer questions when I have men around me who can supply any knowledge I require? Ooh, that was gangster of Mr. Ford. In court, he said this. There certainly was good logic to that reply. That answer floored the lawyer. Every person in the courtroom realized it was the answer, not of an ignorant man, but of a man of education. Any man who is educated knows where to get knowledge when he needs it and how to organize that knowledge into definite plans of action. Through the assistance of his mastermind group, can't wait to have my mastermind group. Through the assistance of his mastermind group, Henry Ford had at his command all the specialized knowledge he needed to enable him to become one of the wealthiest men in America. It was not essential that he have this knowledge in his own mind. Surely no person who has sufficient inclination and intelligence to read a book of this nature can possibly miss the significance of this illustration. Before you can be sure of your ability to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge of the service, merchandise, or profession which you intend to offer in return for the money. Perhaps you may need much more specialized knowledge than you have the ability or inclination to acquire. And if this should be true, you may bridge your weakness through the aid of your mastermind group. Basically, you'll use the people in your circle to help you get the knowledge you need to get that money. Andrew Carnegie stated that he personally knew nothing about the technical end of the steel business. Moreover, he did not particularly care to know anything about it. The specialized knowledge which he had required for the manufacturing and marketing of steel, he found available through individual units of his mastermind group. The accumulation of great fortunes call for power. And power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. But that knowledge does not necessarily have to be in the possession of the man who accumulates the fortune. The preceding paragraph should give hope and encouragement to the man with ambition to accumulate a fortune. who has not possessed himself of the necessary education to supply such specialized knowledge as he may require. Men sometimes go through life suffering from inferiority complexes because they are not men of education. The man who can organize and direct a mastermind group of men who possess knowledge useful in the accumulation of money is just as much a man of education as any man in the group. Remember this: if you suffer from a feeling of inferiority because your schooling has been limited, Thomas A. Edison had only 3 months of schooling during his entire life. Thomas Edison had only 3 months of school his entire life. He did not lack education, however. Neither did he die poor. Henry Ford had less than a 6th grade schooling, but he has managed to do pretty well by himself financially. Specialized knowledge is among the most plentiful and the cheapest forms of service which may be had. If you doubt this, consult the payroll of any university. It pays to know how to purchase knowledge. First of all, decide the sort of specialized knowledge that you require and the purpose for which it is needed. To a large extent, your major purpose in life, the goal towards which you are working, will help determine what knowledge you need. With this question settled, your next move requires that you have accurate information concerning dependable sources of knowledge. The more important of these are the following. A, one's own personal experience and education. B, experience and education available through cooperation of others, your mastermind group, your mastermind alliance. C, colleges and universities. D, public libraries through books and periodicals in which may be found all the knowledge organized by civilization. And E, specialized training courses through night schools and home study schools in particular. As knowledge is required, it must be organized and put into use for a definite purpose through practical plans. Knowledge has no value except that which can be gained from its application towards some worthy end. This is one reason why college degrees are not valued more highly. They represent nothing but miscellaneous knowledge. I remember when I was in school, I was going to Cal State Long Beach. My best friend, DeMarco, may he rest in peace, he was going to USC. We lived in the same apartment in Hawthorne. DeMarco was telling me about the classes that he was taking at USC because he was in the USC film school. He was in film school at USC, going to school to be a director. And he was telling me about all the classes he had, which were directly pointing towards his career field. I was in school, in business school, management information studies. I remember taking a class called interdisciplinary studies and another course which was something about, I might as well have been learning how to basket weave. It was some kind of interdisciplinary, ridiculous class that had nothing to do with management information studies. When I compared his private school, USC, to my public school, Cal State Long Beach, I was upset. I was like, why am I taking this bullshit class while my best friend is over there taking specific courses to get him to where he needs to go? And then I started looking at my entire, my all the classes that I needed to take to graduate. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys right now are thinking back to some of those stupid ass classes you were taking in college, but you were forced to take. You had to take them. They had nothing to do with what you wanted to do, but the school threw them in there simply because it was a money play. That's what he's talking about right now. They represent nothing but miscellaneous knowledge. If you contemplate taking additional schooling, please first determine the purpose for which you want the knowledge you are seeking. Then learn where this particular sort of knowledge can be obtained from reliable sources. Successful men in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to their major purpose, business, or profession. Those who are not successful usually make the mistake of believing that knowledge acquiring period ends when one finishes school. The truth is that schooling does but little more than to put one in the way of learning how to acquire practical knowledge. With this changed world, which begins at the end of the economic collapse, came also astounding changes in educational requirements. The order of the day is specialization. This truth was emphasized by Robert P. Moore, Secretary of Appointments of Columbia University. Specialists most sought after, particularly sought after by employing companies, are candidates who have specialized in some field business school, graduates with training in accounting, also outstanding leaders and activity men of their senior class. The man who has been active on the campus, whose personality is such that he gets along with all kinds of people, and who has done an adequate job with his studies, has a most decided edge over the strictly academic student. Some of these, because of their all-around qualifications, have received several offers of positions, a few of them as many as 6. In departing from the conception that the straight A student was invariably the one to get the choice of the better jobs, Mr. Moore said that most companies look not only to academic records, but to activity records and personalities of the students. One of the largest industrial companies, the leader in its field, in writing to Mr. Moore concerning prospective seniors at the college, said, "We are interested primarily in finding men who can make exceptional progress in management work. For this reason, we emphasize qualities of character, intelligence, and personality far more than specific educational background." They cared about people's personality more than they cared about what kind of grades they got. Apprenticeship proposed. Proposing a system of apprenticing students in offices, stores, and industrial occupations during the summer vacation, Mr. Moore asserts that after the first 2 or 3 years of college, every student should be asked to choose a definite future course and to call a halt if he has been merely pleasantly drifting without purpose through an unspecialized academic curriculum. Colleges and universities must face the practical consideration that all professions and occupations now demand specialists. Mind you guys, this was written in 1925. This was written in 1925. You telling me it doesn't apply damn near 100 years later? Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. He's where did I leave off? One of the most reliable and practical sources of knowledge available to those who need specialized schooling is the night schools operated in most large cities. The correspondence schools give specialized training. Specialized training. This is vocational schools. Specialized training. Anywhere in the United States, the males go on all subjects that can be taught by the extension method. This is basically online school. This is what he's talking about right now is what we now consider going to school online for something special, something specific, getting exactly what you need to know. Courses that people offer right here on YouTube. Joining my membership and getting knowledge there, specialized knowledge, specific knowledge. One advantage of home study training is the flexibility of the study program, which permits one to study during spare time. Another stupendous advantage of home study training, if the school is carefully chosen, is the fact that most courses offered by home study schools carry with them generous privileges of consultation, which can be priceless value to those needing specialized knowledge. No matter where you live, you can share the benefits. No matter where you live or where you are, even if you lock down because of Corona, You can share the benefits online, the way you guys are getting it right now. Anything acquired without effort and without cost is generally unappreciated, often discredited. Perhaps this is why we get so little from our marvelous opportunity in public schools. The self-discipline that one receives from a definite program of specialized study makes up to some extent for the wasted opportunity when knowledge was available without cost. Correspondence schools are highly organized business institutions. Their tuition fees are so low that they are forced to insist upon prompt payments. Being asked to pay, whether the student makes good grades or poor grades, has the effect of causing one to follow through with the course when he would otherwise drop out. The correspondence schools have not stressed this point sufficiently, for the truth is that their collection departments constitute the very finest sort of training on decision, promptness, action, and the habit of finishing that which one begins. I learned this from experience more than 25 years ago. I enrolled for a home study course in advertising. After completing 8 or 10 lessons, I stopped studying, but the school did not stop sending me the bill. Moreover, it insisted upon payment, whether I kept up my studies or not. I decided that if I had to pay for the course, which I had legally obligated myself to do, I should complete the lessons and get my money's worth. I felt at the time that the collection system of the school was somewhat too well organized, but I learned later in life that it was a valuable part of my training for which had no charge had been made. Being forced to pay, I went ahead and completed the course. Later in life, I discovered that the efficient collection system of that school had been worth much in the form of money earned because of the training and advertising I had so reluctantly taken. We have in America what is said to be the greatest public school system in the world. We have invested fabulous sums for fine buildings. We have provided convenient transportation for our children living in rural districts, busing, so they may attend these great schools. But there is one astounding weakness to this marvelous system. It's one weakness to this marvelous system. It's free. It is free. One of the strange things about human beings is that they only value that which has a price. Let me sidebar, you guys. Let me repeat that. One of the strangest things about human beings is that they only value that which has a price. The free schools of America and the free public libraries do not impress people because they are free. This is the major reason why so many people find it necessary to acquire additional training after they quit school and go to work. It is also one of the major reasons why employers give great consideration to employees who take home study courses. They have learned from experience that any person who has the ambition to give up a part of his spare time to study at home has in him those qualities which make good for leadership. This recognition is not charitable gesture. It is sound business judgment upon the part of the employers. Basically, sidebar. Basically, you know, some of you guys have jobs who offer them, they offer to pay for half your tuition if you continue to go to school. Some of you guys have jobs that they say, listen, if you guys go take these particular courses, the company will pay for all your tuition. The reason why the businesses are doing that is because they're realizing that, and what he's saying in this book is that people who work like everybody else does, 9 to 5, but you're willing to give up your spare time, your Netflix time, for the people who's willing to give up their nightclub and happy hour time, for people to give up some of their sleeping time to raise their knowledge and get more specialized knowledge in education, are people who will fare better in running and managing and facilitating that business. That's why they're preferred as managers over the regular people, because the regular people is there just for the paycheck. but people who's willing to give up their spare time to learn some shit like you guys are doing right now. Like you guys are doing right now. For the people that's chatting in the chat, I hear the chat going off. For the people that's chatting and listening to my voice, you could be doing anything right now. You could be watching a fucking movie. How exciting is it to read a book on YouTube? That's not exciting. This ain't fun. This doesn't taste good. This doesn't feel good. This is not orgasmic. This is not sex. But the fact that you guys are giving up your spare time to learn something is what separates you from the average people. It's what separates you from regular folk. There's 24 people here. There's 24, according to this, there's 24 people in this that's watching this right now. You 24 people are the people who lead the other 2,400. The other 2,400 people are followers. They would rather watch TV. They would rather sleep right now. They would rather be on TikTok or be on Instagram scrolling pictures and double clicking heart and giving hearts to photos. Those people will work for you one day. So while you drive around in your Rolls Royce, your Mercedes, your Bentley, while you're living in your big house, they're upset that they don't have that. And they're upset that they're living in their small little apartment. Remind them you didn't put in the work. You didn't even think to come over and listen to somebody else read a book. Instead, you wanted to watch another episode of that TV show on Netflix. That's what's separating. And that's why employers tend to pay for tuition for their employees to go to school, because those are the people that's going to get promoted. It's just the way that goes. There is one weakness in people for which there is no remedy. It is the universal weakness of lack of ambition. There is one weakness in people for which there is no remedy. There's no cure. It is the universal weakness of lack of ambition. People, especially salaried people, who schedule their spare time to provide home study seldom remain at the bottom very long. I need to read that again. People, especially people who get a salary, not a wage, not an hourly wage, but a salary, who schedule their spare time when they're not at work to provide home study, to get more knowledge, like reading a book like this, seldom remain at the bottom very long. Their action opens the way for the upward climb, removes many obstacles from their path, and gains the friendly interest of those who have the power to put them in the way of opportunity. The home study method of training is especially suited to the needs of employed people who find after leaving school that they must acquire additional specialized knowledge, but cannot spare the time to go back to school. The changed economic conditions prevailing since the Depression have made it necessary for thousands of people to find additional or new sources of income. For the majority of these, the solution to their problem may be found only by acquiring specialized knowledge. Many will be forced to change their occupation entirely. When a merchant finds that a certain line of merchandise is not selling, he usually supplants it with another that is in demand. The person whose business is that of marketing personal services must also be an efficient merchant. If his services do not bring adequate returns in one occupation, he must change to another where broader opportunities are available. Stuart Austin Weir prepared himself as a construction engineer and followed this line of work until the Depression limited his market to where it did not give him the income he required. He took inventory of himself, decided to change his profession to law, went back to school and took special courses by which he prepared himself as a corporation lawyer. Despite the Depression had not ended, he completed his training, passed the bar examination, and quickly built a lucrative law practice in Dallas, Texas. In fact, he is turning away clients just to keep the record straight and to anticipate the alibis of those who will say, I couldn't go to school because I have a family to support, or I am too old, or I will add the information. I will add the information that Mr. Weir was past 40 and married when he went back to school. He was past 40 before he became a lawyer. He was over 40 years old when he decided to go to law school and become a lawyer and build a successful law practice in Texas. Moreover, by carefully selecting highly specialized courses in colleges best prepared to teach the subjects chosen, Mr. Weir completed in only 2 years the work for which the majority of law students require 4 years. It pays to know how to purchase knowledge. The person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity, no matter what may be his calling. The way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. Now let us consider a specific instance. During the Depression, a salesman in a grocery store found himself without a position. He was jobless. He didn't have a job. Having had some bookkeeping experience, he took a special course in accounting, familiarized himself with all the latest bookkeeping and office equipment, and went into business for himself. Starting with the grocer from whom he had formerly worked, he made contracts with more than 100 small merchants to keep their books at a very nominal monthly fee. His idea was so practical that he soon found it necessary to set up profitable office in light delivery truck, which he equipped with modern bookkeeping machinery. He now has a fleet of these bookkeeping offices on wheels and employs a large staff of assistants, thus providing small merchants with accounting service equal to the best that money can buy at very nominal cost. Specialized knowledge plus imagination were the ingredients that went into this unique, successful business. Last year, the owner of that business paid an income tax of almost 10 times as much as was paid by the merchant from whom he worked when the Depression forced him upon a temporary adversity, which proved to be a blessing in disguise. He paid in taxes 10 times more than he got paid in salary from his job before he couldn't work no more. His taxes was 10 times more than his paycheck. Shout out to him back in 1925. The beginning of successful business was an idea. In so as much as I had the privilege of supplying the unemployed salesman with that idea, I now assume the further privilege of suggesting another idea which has within its possibility of even greater income. Also the possibility of rendering useful service to thousands of people who badly need that service. The idea was suggested by the salesman who gave up selling and went into the business of keeping books on a wholesale basis. When the plan was suggested as a solution of his unemployment problem, he quickly exclaimed, "I like the idea, but I would not know how to turn it into cash." In other words, he complained he would not know how to market his bookkeeping knowledge after he acquired it. So that brought up another problem, which had to be solved. With the aid of a young woman typist, clever at hand lettering, who could put the story together, a very attractive book was prepared, describing the advantages of the new system of bookkeeping. The pages were neatly typed and pasted in ordinary scrapbook, which was used as a silent salesman, with which the story of this new business was so effectively told that its owner soon had more accounts than he could handle. There are thousands of people, you guys, all over the country who need the services of merchandising specialists capable of preparing an attractive brief for use in marketing personal services. The aggregate annual income from such service might easily exceed that received by the largest employment agency, and the benefits of the service might be made far greater to the purchaser than any to be obtained from an employment agency. The idea here described was born of necessity to bridge an emergency which had to be covered, but it did not stop merely serving one person. The woman who created the idea has has a keen imagination. She saw in her newly born brainchild the making of a new profession, one that is destined to render valuable service to thousands of people who need practical guidance in marketing, personal services. Spurred to action by the instantaneous success of her first prepared plan to market personal services, this energetic woman turned next to the solution of a similar problem for her son, who had just finished college, but had been totally unable to find a market for his services. The plan she originated for his use was the finest specimen of merchandising of personal services I have ever seen. When the plan book had been completed, it contained nearly 50 pages of beautifully typed, properly organized information telling the story of her son's native ability, schooling, personal experiences, and a great variety of other information too extensive for description. The plan book also contained a complete description of the position her son, hold on, move this down, let me go back. The plan book also contained a complete description of the position her son desired, together with a marvelous word picture of the exact plan he would use in filling this position. The preparation of the plan book required several weeks of labor, during which time its creator sent her son to the public library almost every day to procure data needed in selling his services to the best advantage. She sent him also to all the competitors of the prospective employer and gathered from them vital information concerning their business methods, which was of great value in the formation of the plan he intended to use in filling out the position he sought. When the plan had been finished, it contained more than half a dozen very fine suggestions for the use and benefit of the prospective employer. The suggestions were put into use by the company. One may be inclined to ask, why go to all this trouble just to get a job? The answer is straight to the point. Also, it is dramatic because it deals with a subject whose sole purpose of income is personal services. The answer is doing something well never is trouble. The plan prepared by this woman for the benefit of her son helped him get the job for which he applied at the first interview at a salary fixed by himself. Moreover, and this too is important, the position did not require the young man to start at the bottom. He began as a junior executive at an executive's salary. So why go to all this trouble, you ask? Well, for one thing, the plan presentation of this young man's application for a position clipped off no less than 10 years of time he would have required to get to where he began, had he started at the bottom and worked his way up. His mom saved him 10 years of work. 1 month of proper preparation shaved off 10 years of starting at the bottom. This idea of starting at the bottom and working one's way up may appear to be sound, but the major objection to it is this too: many of those who begin at the bottom never manage to lift their heads high enough to be seen by opportunity, so they remain at the bottom. It should be remembered also that the outlook from the bottom is not so very bright or encouraging. It has a tendency to kill off ambition. We call it getting into a rut. How many of you have been into a rut, stuck in a rut? Which means that we accept our fate because we form the habit of a daily routine, a habit that finally becomes so strong we cease to try to throw it off. And that is another reason why it pays to start 1 or 2 steps above from the bottom. By doing so, one forms the habit of looking around, of observing how others get ahead, of seeing opportunity and embracing it without hesitation. Dan Haplin is a splendid example of what I mean. During his college days, he was a manager of the famous 1930s national championship Notre Dame football team when it was under the direction of the late Newt Rockman. Perhaps he was inspired by the great football coach to aim high, not mistake temporary defeat for failure. Just as Andrew Carnegie, the great industrial leader, inspired his business lieutenants to set high goals for themselves. At any rate, young Haplin finished college at a mighty unfavorable time when the Depression had made jobs so scarce. So after a fling at investment banking and motion pictures, he took the first opening with a potential future he could find selling electrical hearing aids on a commission basis. Anyone can start in that sort of job, and Haplin knew it. But it was not enough to open the door of opportunity to him. For almost 2 years, he continued in a job not to his liking, and he would never have risen above that job if he had not done something about his dissatisfaction. He aimed first at the job of assistant sales manager of his company, and he got the job. That one step forward placed him high enough above the ground to enable him to see greater opportunity. Also, it placed him where opportunity can see him. He made such a fine record selling hearing aids that A.M. Andrews, chairman of the board of the Dictograph Products Company, a business competitor of the company for which Haplin had worked, wanted to know something about that man. Dan Haplin, who was taking big sales away from the long-established Dictograph company. He sent for Haplin. When the interview was over, Haplin was the new sales manager in charge of acquisition division. Then, to test Haplin's mental, Mr. Andrews went away to Florida for 3 months, leaving him to sink or swim in his new job. He didn't swink. He did not sink. Newt Rockney's spirit of all the world loves a winner and has no time for a loser inspired him to put so much into his job that he was recently elected vice president of the entire company and general manager of the acquisitions and silent radio division, a job which most men would be proud to earn through 10 years of loyal effort. Haplin turned the trick in a little less than 6 months. No, a little more than 6 months. He did in 6 months what most employees at that job would have loved to have done in 10 years. So it's difficult to say whether Mr. Andrews or Mr. Haplin is more deserving of eulogy for the reason that both showed evidence of having an abundance of very rare quality known as imagination. Mr. Andrews deserved credit for seeing in young Haplin a go-getter of the highest order. Haplin deserves credit for refusing to compromise with life by accepting and keeping a job he did not want. Is that some of you? Sidebar. Is that some of you? I'm going to read it again. Haplin deserves credit for refusing to compromise with life by accepting and keeping a job that he did not want. Is that some of you? And that is one of the major points I'm trying to emphasize through this entire philosophy, that we rise to high positions or remain at the bottom because of conditions we can control if we desire to control them. I am also trying to emphasize another point, namely that both success and failure are largely the results of habit. I hope you guys are making it a habit to check in with me every day. I'm making it a habit to be here every day. Sidebar. I hope you guys are making it a habit to tap in with Shannon. Make it a habit to tap in with me every day. I'm making it a habit to be here every day. I have not the slightest doubt that Dan Haplin's close association with the greatest football coach America has ever known planted in his mind the same brand of desire to excel which made the Notre Dame football team world famous. Truly, there is something to the idea that heroship is helpful, provided one worships a winner. Haplin tells me that Rockne was one of the world's greatest leaders of men in all history. My belief in the theory that business associations are vital factors both in failure and in success. Ooh, that applies to relationships too, right? Sidebar. That applies to relationships. He says, my belief in the theory that business associations are vital factors in both failure and success. That works with relationships. I tell men all the time, your success or failure in life can largely depend upon the woman you choose. Your success or failure in life, gentlemen, can largely be attributed to the woman you choose to be by your side along the journey. We'll save that for the members area. My belief in the theory that business associations are vital factors both in failure and in success was recently demonstrated when my son Blair was negotiating with Dan Haplin for a position. Mr. Haplin offered him a beginning salary of about 1/2 of what he could have gotten from a rival company. I brought parental pressure to bear and induced him to accept the place with Mr. Haplin because I believe close association with one who refuses to compromise with circumstances he does not like is an asset that can never be measured in terms of money. The bottom is a monotonous, dreary, unprofitable place for anybody. The bottom is a monotonous, dreary, unprofitable place for any person. That is why I have taken the time to describe how lowly beginnings may be circumvented by proper planning. Also, that it is why so much space has been devoted to a description of this new profession created by a woman who was inspired to do a fine job of planning because she wanted her son to have a favorable break. With the changed conditions ushered in by the world economic collapse came also the need for newer and better ways of marketing personal services. It is hard to determine why someone had not previously discovered this stupendous need in view of the fact that more money changes hands in return for personal services than for any other purpose. The sum paid out monthly to people who work for wages and salaries is so huge that it runs into the hundreds of millions, and the annual distribution amount into the billions of $1925. Perhaps some will find in the idea here briefly described the nucleus of riches they desire. The nucleus of riches they desire. Ideas with much less merit have been the seedlings from which great fortunes have grown. Woolworth's 5 and 10 cent store idea, for example, had far less merit, but it piled up a fortune for its creator. Those seeing opportunity lurking in this suggestion will find valuable aid in the chapter on organized planning. Incidentally, an efficient merchandiser of personal services would find a growing demand for his services wherever there are men and women who seek better markets for their services. By applying the mastermind principle, a few people with suitable talents could form an alliance and have a paying business very quickly. One would need to be a fair writer with a flair for advertising and selling, one handy at typing a hand lettering, and one should be a first-class business getter who would let the world know about the service. If one person possessed all these abilities, he might carry on the business alone until it outgrew him. The woman who prepared the personal services sales plan for her son now receives requests from all parts of the country for her cooperation in preparing similar plans for others who desire to market their personal services for more money. She has a staff of expert typists, artists, and writers who have the ability to dramatize the case history so effectively that one's personal services can be marketed for much more money than the prevailing wages for similar services. She is so confident of her ability that she accepts as the major portion of her fee a percentage of the increased pay that she helps her clients earn. Damn, she's eating off the back end. She's eating off the back end. It must not be supposed that her plan merely consists of clever salesmanship by which she helps men and women to demand and receive more money for the same services they formerly sold for less pay. She looks after the interests of the purchaser as well as the seller of personal services, and so prepares her plan that the employer receives full value for the additional money he pays. The method by which she accomplishes this astonishing result is a professional secret, which she discloses to no one excepting her own clients. If you have the imagination, my friends, and you seek a more profitable outlet for your personal services, this suggestion may be the stimulus for which you have been searching. The idea is capable of yielding an income far greater than that of the average doctor or lawyer or engineer whose education required several years in college. The idea is sellable to those seeking new positions in practically all positions calling for managerial or executive ability, and those desiring rearrangement of income for their present positions. There is no fixed price for sound ideas. There is no fixed price for sound ideas. Back of all ideas is specialized knowledge. Unfortunately, for those who do not find riches in abundance, for those who stay poor, specialized knowledge is more abundant and more easily acquired than ideas. Because of this very truth, there is a universal demand and an ever-increasing opportunity for the person capable of helping men and women to sell their personal services advantageously. Capability means imagination, the one quality needed to combine specialized knowledge with ideas in the form of organized plans designed to yield riches. If you have imagination, this chapter may present you with an idea sufficient to serve as the beginning of the riches that you desire. Remember, the idea is the main thing. Specialized knowledge may be found just around the corner, any corner at that. And that's chapter 5, my friends. Let's go over the key ideas. Let's go over the key ideas that we just learned. What y'all talking about over here in the chat? I'll be hearing the chat. It gives it a little sound, this little sound every time you guys talk. Hey, Joanna, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad she said she puts off having sexual desires. Yep, we're gonna get to the sexual chapter. That's coming up. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm glad you guys tapped in with me today. We're reading this. We're knocking this out. Did you guys hit the like button? You see how it says that right there? Please help Shannon by telling YouTube this video is worth showing to others. To help, all you have to do is hit the thumbs up button on the video. Please hit the thumbs up button on the video. Please take a second real quick, you guys. Do me a favor. Let's pause for a second. Everybody hit the X to get rid of the chat, and then hit the thumbs up if you're watching this on your phone. If you're watching on a computer, just hit the thumbs up button. Please, that's helpful. If you forgot to hit the thumbs up button, it costs you nothing. You have unlimited thumbs up in your bank account. You have unlimited amount of thumbs up in your bank account. I just want you to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much. I see it going up. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's talk about the key ideas that we just read in this particular chapter. Number 1, you're going to need to develop specialized knowledge in order to become successful, probably more than you want. General knowledge is cool. Going to college is cool. But by and large, college is going to teach you general knowledge. You're going to need specialized knowledge to get to where you need to go. You're going to have to be a specialist to get to where you want to go. Number 2, if you don't have the specialized knowledge in some area, Develop a relationship with someone who does. Now, here's the thing. Just like Henry Ford, when he sued the newspaper for liability, for libeling him, and they were trying to ask him silly questions like, how many soldiers came over from Britain to fight in the Revolutionary War? He was like, I don't know. And I don't need to know. But if I needed to know in order to be the auto manufacturer I am, I got a series of buttons on my desk, and I'll press one of them, and then somebody will come running in my office and answer the question for me. Is that boss? Is that boss or what? If you don't have the specialized knowledge in some area, develop a relationship with someone who does. Who around you guys right now knows some shit that you don't? Are you the smartest in your crew? These are some of my quotes. If you are the smartest in your crew, you need a new crew. If you're the smartest person in your group of friends, you need a new group of friends. Number 3, you can buy knowledge either through someone who has it or through education. Number 4, if you're thinking about going back to college, make sure you have a purpose for doing so. What specifically do you need to know? Ladies, I'm talking to you now, you career students. I'm talking to women because you guys tend to be the career students. You want to be so fucking educated. Women are the most educated. You guys want to be so educated, and you go into college and you go into school and you don't even know why. You've married college. Instead of marrying a man, you've married college. Some of you ladies become career students. You want 2 and 3 and 4 bachelor degrees, 2 masters and a doctorate. Then you want to get your MBA. You're married to school because you can't get it together with a man. And then you're going to school for fucking nothing. It's yielding you nothing. You're not making no extra money. You're just as poor as you would have been if you never went to college to begin with. You are just as poor as if you would have never went to college to begin with. Some of y'all are so damn educated. And you're picking majors that have nothing to do with nothing. If you go back to school, make sure you have a purpose for doing so. What specifically do you need to know? Don't go to school just because you think you need to go to school. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Number 5, employers will pay more for workers with specialized knowledge. Employers will pay workers more if they have specialized knowledge. Number 6, if you're not making the kind of money you want, take a personal inventory and see if you should consider changing careers or going back to school. If you ain't making the money that you need to make, that you want to make, that's going to put you in the position you need to make, you need to start thinking about leaving that job like yesterday. Number 7, there is no cure for lack of ambition, period. There's no cure for lack of ambition. Number 8, if you don't have to start at the bottom and work your way up. You don't have to start at the bottom and work your way up. You don't have to start at the bottom and work your way up. It can cause you to get in a rut and lose your ambition. You can jump in front of the line. You can jump in front of the line. Number 9, we rise to high positions or remain at the bottom because of conditions that we can actually control if we desire to control them. We rise to high positions or we remain at the bottom because of conditions that we can control if we desire to control them. And number 10, both success and failure are largely the results of habit. Both success and failure are the results of habit. And that is chapter 5, y'all. That's chapter 5. Hey, hold on. I'm going to turn up the brightness on my camera. Want to turn up the brightness on my camera. A little dark. Yo, that's chapter 5, y'all. That's chapter 5. I enjoyed it. I love reading this stuff, man. I take that back. I enjoy the knowledge I get from reading this stuff, man. I enjoy the knowledge that I get from reading this stuff. I do. I do. I enjoy the knowledge that I get from reading these things. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. We are finished with chapter 5 of Think and Grow Rich, a book written by Napoleon Hill that's going to help elevate us and take us to the next level. We're going to apply these principles in this book. We're going to do the things that this book is telling us to do, right? We're going to do the things that this book is telling us to do, right? And we're going to make it happen. We're going to read chapter 6 on Friday, Black Friday. We're going to read chapter 6 on Friday, Black Friday. Hope you guys are going to be here, help you make it happen. Hope you're not going to be standing in line at Target trying to get a flat screen TV, and you're going to be here to get the money so you can just order shit at will. Black Friday won't apply to you. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and do our giveaway. Let's do our giveaway. Let's do our giveaway. I have people in, so I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to say salute. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You better type salute in the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's go ahead and do our giveaway. Ooh, people are jumping in. I know it's a delay. That's why I'm bullshitting. I know it's a delay. I know it's a delay. That's why I'm bullshitting. All right, let's close the entries. And boom, entries are closed. And then let's do our giveaway. We got 14 people, and the winner of of this live's giveaway, the winner of this live's giveaway is Red Lipstick Vibes Podcast. Hey, shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes Podcast. Follow the instructions. Follow the instructions, love. She's the winner. I got to get used to using this side of the screen. I appreciate you guys. We're going to be live today at High Value Shan. I'm going to drop in some game. I want you guys to cam up and come on the show if you're so willing. I appreciate you guys for reading with us, and I'll see you Friday. All right. I'll see you Friday. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, please. That's very important. Subscribe. Please like this video and join the army. Join the army. Join the SR Army. Join the SR Army, you guys. Not the U.S. Army. We are the SR Army, where we are taking our lives to the next level. Got a lot of, you'll unlock a lot of content that the rest of the people won't be able to have. And pretty soon, the chat is going to be available to members only. Pretty soon, the chat is going to be available to members only. Because I'm growing faster than I anticipated, I'm going to end up making the chat available to only the members that's going to be able to talk in the chat. So please join. Please join. Or stay broke. It's up to you. Or stay, stay single. Or stay in a bad relationship. It's up to you. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. I appreciate everybody. I'm Mr. Shan, the man with the plan. I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that, you guys. And not much surprises me anymore. And you, my friends, is dismissed.
Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, ella quiere ver. Pa' que el CP se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver. Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, que yo parezca en él. Como que ella quiere disfruta la noche, lo anormal. Porque el novio teme que su relación va a terminar. Se da cuenta que no necesita a alguien más. Quiere un selfie para su Instagram. Ella ya no quiere relación, alguien que diga su condición, que solamente le dé traición, para después llegar con un perdón. Quiere hangar y ser de esos babies que goza la vida y lo hacen como esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, ella quiere ver, para que él siempre se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer, perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver. Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, que yo parezca en mí, que yo parezca en mí. No tiene sueños, solamente en sus sueños nos ponemos risueños con un norteño y mi flow brasileño. Yo te juro que es bueno, ya me doy el palo, ese empate si lo desigualo. Le gusta lo honesto y lo malo, me traje un regalo. Ella ya no quiere relación, alguien que diga su condición, que solamente le dé traición, para después llegar con un perdón. Quiere hangar y ser de esos pibes que goza la vida y lo hacen como esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, ella quiere ver, para que él siempre se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer, perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver. Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, que yo parezca en mí, que yo parezca en mí. Dime todo lo que ella quiere, nada ha sido regalado. Entre más independiente, más quiero estar a su lado. Esas nenas, mata, es que más ella está plena la noche entera. Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, ella quiere ver, para que él siempre se dé cuenta que aquí perdió esa mujer, perdió esa mujer. Lo que quiere es enloquecer, ser la mujer que él quería ver. Esa chica quiere selfie, selfie, que yo parezca en mí, que yo parezca.